Hi there, and thank you for joining us today. We have something super fun in store for you today. We are going to make a mini wrapped flower bouquet. This is so cute and fun and tiny. We are just going to use one single flower and a few different types of our dried filler here. We just have one flower, raw, not dyed, and a couple of different types of dried filler here that do have a little bit of color to them. Nothing super vibrant. We're wanting to keep it fairly neutral and kind of give it a little bit of a vintagey, old-timey feel, if you will. So we are just going to start with our single stemmed flower, and we are going to add just these little bits of filler to it. We're going to add some kind of almost all around it on all of the sides, maybe not so much in front, but definitely towards what will be the back of our little mini bouquet. We've got a little bit of filler added, and so now we want to make sure it's going to stay in place, so we're going to do that by adding just a little bit of tape. We're going to start on the next type of filler here, get that arranged in there and placed where we want it, and add a little bit more tape again. The tape is not very expensive and a little goes a long way, so if it's going to hold our arrangement in place, we're definitely going to use all that we can. We are going to add our last type of filler here, a little bit of dried baby spread, and make sure that we get that put right into place. This floral tape is great because when you first touch it, it is not sticky. It will not become adhesive until you give it a little bit of stretch. So it's really awesome for using for these Sola wood flower arrangements. So we're just gonna hold that one side down with our thumb, give it a nice little bit of a stretch there while we wrap it around our arrangement that we're working on. And that will release the adhesive and you'll be able to stick the tape back down to itself. And now we are going to add a bit of tissue paper. So this is a mini wrapped bouquet, so we are going to wrap it in some pale pink tissue paper. We're just going to take some little squares, we're going to cut them down to the size that we're wanting. Your tissue paper might be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, just kind of depending on the size of flower that you chose to go with. We just went with a single 2-inch flower here, and we're just cutting this into some little, almost strips, these little squares into half, giving us some little strips here. We do have one square that we're going to give a little bit of a fold to. We are going to add our little tiny mini bouquet, and we're going to wrap that around. And now we are going to start adding our smaller pieces. This is just we're going to kind of layer those around our little tiny mini bouquet, kind of giving it a little bit of a ruffled look with the tissue paper that we're using here. And we are just using some clear Scotch tape to keep this tissue paper in place. We don't need to use that floral tape for this part. A piece of clear Scotch tape will work great. As you can see, we're just folding our cut in half pieces in half again. Again, it's just kind of going to give our arrangement a little bit of a ruffled look. For something like this where it's so small and petite, it's fun to add extra little details by folding your paper. This is just how we're doing it. You can add, you can fold it in half a few more times if you'd like. You can kind of accordion style fold your tissue paper, however you would like to do it. This little mini wrap bouquet can be used for so many different things. A few of my favorite things that I've seen them used for are things like a gift topper. Instead of using a bow, I've seen people attach the little tiny mini bouquet to the top of a gift with some jute twine or maybe some, just anything that kind of matches with what their, the look of their little mini bouquet. I've also seen them be used for a fridge magnet that is super adorable. So the only thing that you'll need there is just a pretty strong magnet. You don't want something weak, a pretty strong magnet, and when you're finished with your little mini bouquet, you can glue that magnet right to the back of it and stick it on your fridge to hold your notes, your kids' artwork, whatever it is, and it looks adorable. Now that we have all of the pieces of our tissue paper added, we added one last piece to kind of cover up that clear Scotch tape that we've been using. And to secure this, we are just going to add a little dot of hot glue and hold that down just to make sure it dries and that everything stays in place. To finish it off, we are just adding a little bit of ribbon around there, just as our little finishing touch. We're just going to glue the end of that ribbon down. Trim off any excess that you might have. And to go with our mini bouquet, we are going to add an adorable little mini bow. We're going to trim off any excess stem from our flowers and fillers. Make any necessary adjustments that you need to with your tissue paper and your filler if you have to. And then your little mini bouquet is done. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and happy crafting.